Hi. Hello, everybody. My name is Christina, and this is Behind the Review. Um, you're probably wondering why I'm laughing. Before I get there, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has been there with me, for me, from the very beginning of this journey. Um, And thank you for your patience. Thank you for your understanding over these last couple weeks when I've been trying to figure out what the heck was going on with my videos and uh, just my computer in general. It was frustrating and very stressful. I'm still working on trying to get all of this stuff squared away. So for now, just to give you guys some content and to get me back into recording again, I'm going to be doing movies. I will be discussing movies that I've seen uh, just for my own sanity. So, but anyway, so thank you again for sticking with me. I'm going to do my very best to get back on track here because I have missed being able to do these. Not just for you guys. Yeah, of course, I've missed doing it for you guys and talking about it, but for me too, because this is fun for me. Being able to record, whether a video or audio or something, it's fun for me. So I've missed being able to do it. Hopefully, I can get back on track. But, but now to get to why I was laughing at the start of this is because I sat here talking for maybe 20 minutes about the movie I will be discussing today, but my audio was not recording. Visual was great, recording the whole time. My audio just wasn't being recorded. So, well, that was that glitch. Tells you how out of practice I am, and it's only been a few weeks, but still. Anyway, so I'm definitely recording now. I can see it on my monitor over here. So anyway, so because of the stuff that I'm still working out, I'm like I said, I'm going to be discussing and reviewing movies that I have seen many times. And so today's video, I will be discussing the Tom Hanks, Geena Davis movie, A League of Their Own. And for those of you who have been watching, you may or may not have noticed that when I record these videos, I tend to wear something that symbolizes or references the movie that I am discussing. So when I was doing my review on Wagons East, I was wearing my cowboy hat. When I was doing Hacksaw Ridge, I was wearing my military shirt, even though it's based on a TV show. But still, when I was doing the movie for, what was it called, Darby O'Gill, for St. Patrick's Day, I was wearing a green shirt. Like, I think it's because it's fun and it gives I guess I don't know if it's necessarily a theme, but it I guess it makes a better connection to the movie, I suppose. I don't know. But since today is a league of their own, I am wearing my Rockford Peaches baseball cap. I also have a jersey, um, but because of how everything is framed for this, the logo on the jersey would not have been visible. So I was like, you know what? Wearing my Rockford Peaches hat is plenty. It's plenty. It's really all I need. Um, but I do have the jersey hanging off to the side, but it's all right. Although I probably could have been hanging it in the background, but I didn't think about it until just now. So anyway, A League of Their Own, as I've mentioned at least once or twice before, it does star Tom Hanks and Gina Davis, but it also has Rosie O'Donnell, Madonna, Gary Marshall, John Lovitz. I feel like I'm blanking. Téa Leoni, I also believe has an appearance or two. Can't remember if she says anything, but she is in it. I believe she plays first base. But anyway, don't quote me on that. It's been a while since I've seen this movie. It is one of my all-time favorites. It actually could be my favorite movie of all time. Because people ask me what my favorite movie is, and because I love so many movies from different genres and different walks of life, I don't know. It's hard to pick, but I feel because I do bring this one up quite often, that and it's my go-to. If I feel like watching a movie and I can't quite figure out what movie I'm in the mood to watch, this is usually the one that I go to. Like, this is my go-to movie. It is a comedy, it's a sports movie, it is inspired by true events. And I do enjoy movies that have that. But it's also, did I say it was funny? I can't remember. Yeah, it's there are just so many things, like, and it's a female director. It's not only is it baseball, but it's women in baseball. And I don't know. If it feels like I'm repeating myself, I apologize, because like I said, I was discussing this like 20 minutes ago, but it wasn't being recorded. So I honestly can't remember what I have said or didn't say, so I apologize. I appreciate you hanging in there with me. But yeah, it's women. It's baseball. It's a sports movie. It's funny. Wow, I don't know. I like how there were some unscripted moments that managed to stay in the edited version of the movie. Like, for example, there is a scene on a farm where John Lovitz is playing a recruiter. So he's recruiting women to try out for the women's baseball league. And there is a real cow in the background, and I guess take after take after take, the cow kept interrupting John Lovitz as he's trying to do his lines. But he was just getting frustrated that he felt like the cow was just interrupting him, that he couldn't do his job. So in an interview or a panel or something, I believe it was Penny Marshall herself who said, or it could have been John Lovitz, but I think it was Penny Marshall. I can't remember. I watched the interview or whatever it was, like a year or two ago. Um, that that because she was directing, she said she told John Lovitz that, well, tell it to shut up, because he's frustrated. He's like, how can I do this? Like, the cow keeps interrupting me. It keeps making noises. You go, tell it to shut up. So you can tell in the take they used, you can see his frustration because, it's making noises in the background and he's just trying to get through his scene, and the cow moves, he turns to it, or like it turns his head, and he goes, "Will you shut up?" or something like that. And but because it wasn't in the script, but Penny Marshall gave him the okay to just talk to the cow. It wasn't scripted, and it stayed in. And as far as I know, Lori Petty, I know her from Free Willy. It could have been on a panel. I really can't remember, but she said that they had to use the takes where they're shooting over her shoulder because she was laughing. She couldn't keep it together during that scene because of John Lovitz and his frustration, and just how funny he is in general, that she was laughing. So they couldn't use a different camera angle for her reactions and such, which is okay. It actually worked that we didn't see her reactions to him or whatever, and it's okay because we can see the cow in the background. Another unscripted moment that I'm glad stayed in, and the only reason why I know this is because it was a trivia thing that popped up when they aired the movie on TV. I cannot remember what channel it was. It could have been VH1, it could have been MTV. It was one of those. That there was a scene in like a roadhouse type thing, and the girls just wanted to go out and have some fun, but because of their rules, they were not allowed to do that sort of thing, because if they were caught, they were going to be thrown out of the league. So Gina Davis's character Dottie goes to the roadhouse to let the girls know that someone is on their way to that roadhouse, and if he catches them, they're out of the league. So she's essentially saving these girls so that way they can stay in the league and they can earn money for their families or for themselves or whatever it is, so they can earn their money. But it's also something that they enjoy doing. And so as some of the girls are trying to go out the back door, Madonna is trying to turn to leave, but she ends up tripping and falls down. Apparently that wasn't planned. Apparently Madonna actually did fall down. That is an unscripted moment, but because everyone stayed in character, they left it in. And I applaud everyone for that, because it works. Because of the beer and whatever else they'd been drinking at the roadhouse, it works. It's realistic. You're gonna trip over something and potentially fall down. Even if she just tripped without falling down, it still would have worked. There may have been one or two girls that chuckled or laughed, but that's okay too. That works. I don't know. It's yeah, I don't know. It's just I really can't figure out what it is about this movie that I love so much, but it could be just the combination of things, that it is inspired by true events. Some of the characters' names, I don't know how many, but some of them are actually names of real people. I don't know about their last names, but their first names were women who were in the league in the 40s, while the boys were drafted or volunteered to enlist during the war. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like it's probably because of all of these things, and it just adds up together that it's one of my favorites, probably my favorite. Um, yeah, I mean, Tom Hanks is great. It really, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how else to talk about this movie except sing its praises, I guess. I don't know. Um, because you do have quite a few big names in this movie. And sometimes I feel like if you have like a star-studded cast, it feels like the movie doesn't quite work out as well. Um Probably because you have too many big names, that it just doesn't quite mesh well. But for this, it seems to work. I don't know how it works, or maybe because, or maybe these are actors that I know now that I didn't know then. I don't know. It's it also felt like a very like a family movie. Um I'm trying to think. Um but the reason why I think it's a family movie is because you have the Marshall family. Penny Marshall, who was the director. Gary Marshall is her brother. He was in the movie. Then you've got, oh, I'm blanking on her name. Is it Catherine? Kathleen? Oh my gosh, what is her name? Reiner. Um, why am I blanking on her name? Her last name is Reiner, but that happens to be, because she in the movie she plays Betty Spaghetti. Spaghetti's not her last name, but her name is Betty. She also was in another Tom Hanks movie. She was in Apollo 13. And she happens to be Penny Marshall's daughter. She's the daughter of Rob Reiner and Penny Marshall. Yeah, so it was kind of like a family affair. As far as I know, or from what I remember, I don't remember if Gary Marshall had to audition or not. He might have just asked if he could have a role, even if it was a small role. Maybe, I don't know. I have to go back and watch some of these interviews again. But the ladies, part of their audition process was to show Penny and anyone else part of the production that they can actually play baseball. That was part of their audition, which makes perfect sense. I mean, they're making a baseball movie and they want to make it as real as possible. So you have had some of these women, these ladies that have actually played have actually played baseball or softball or something like that, that they actually had the experience. So that was part of their audition, and I thought it was great. Um, yeah, I mean, how else can I talk about this movie? Um, I don't know. I think it is a very funny movie. It's not necessarily nonstop laughter, but there are plenty of laugh out loud moments. Um, but there's also some really good casting for the older versions of these characters, because we start kind of present day kind of thing, that basically these women are getting together because they're doing it's like the opening or the whatever for the Women's Baseball Hall of Fame. And so it's kind of like a reunion of all of these ladies who played in the league, to get together. And so um, the lady who plays Dottie, who happens to be Gina Davis's character, was brilliantly cast. She looks like an older Gina Davis. Except they didn't use her voice. They actually used Gina Davis's voice. But the fact that she had Gina's mannerisms down was fantastic. Most of the movie is basically a flashback of Dottie's time in the league. The process of how being recruited and trying out, and all that stuff, and watching them through the baseball season. And so it kind of fades to that, where it's telling us the story about how the league got started in a way. And then we just kind of watch that whole story unfold. And at a certain point, I can't remember exactly where it was, has to be after the World Series, when it fades back to present day, and these other ladies are noticing Dottie there. And so you have these other women who are in the league that are, they're just having this mini reunion, but they're all playing on the field. And it was my understanding, I don't remember where I read this or heard this, but a lot of the ladies playing in the beginning part of the movie and the end part of the movie were actually ladies who were in the league in the 40s. And this movie came out in the 90s. I don't remember the exact year. It could have been 92. Perhaps, I'm not 100% sure, but it was in the 90s. I know it was a 90s movie. So yeah, I mean, it's a fun movie. I don't know how else I can explain it. For a while, there was one time where I would act, basically, like imitating or impersonating Tom Hanks in his role in this movie as Jimmy Dugan, where because there's, especially when it comes to some of his physical comedy, because he had this facial expression, doing this thing. He's doing this a lot because he's frustrated, but he's also trying not to yell in front of everybody. He's trying to keep his composure. Yeah, that I had I got to a point where I was actually doing it quite well, and it was frightening. But anyway, it was, yeah, I was impressed with myself. Um, I did it okay this time around, but I wasn't like trying to do it too much, if that makes any sense. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. So, yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, go ahead and check it out. It is one of my favorites. Probably is my favorite movie of all time. I've said that number of times. I know. I'm sorry. Um, but as far as I know, that's all I got for you. So I'm really hoping that I'm back. I'm gonna do my very best. But again, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, remember to click. Remember to click like and remember to subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. And I hope to see you. I don't know if you see me in what? I don't know anymore. Yeah, so remember to click like and subscribe, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye.